All right, folks, good morning. Let's get started here. So for today, uh, February the 26th, Wednesday, we have the following information. All right, so first off, at 10 a.m., we have new home sales, which is a moderately important report. So we'll see what happens at 10:30 a.m. Well, see, that doesn't count. Sorry, crude oil doesn't really count. We'll have G20 meetings all day. So it possibly means that something could be said anytime during the day, which could affect the markets. 12 p.m., we've got FOMC member Bostic speaking. That is not expected to have a substantial impact. At some point today, President Trump will be speaking. Looks like about executive orders. Impact is expected to be moderate. So sometime after 12, we would expect that to happen. So I would say until the middle of the day, we have very little to focus on, but it is possible at some point something might be said in the G20 meeting that could have a significant impact. All right, that being said, taking a look at the markets, the QQQ ETF, as you can see, we're poised to open significantly higher today than where we closed yesterday. Yesterday was clearly bearish, but it looks like we're going to recoup about half of the losses, and we'll see where we go from there. Taking a look, however, at the stocks that we found yesterday, we were able to find two, and the two that we took advantage of, one was Marvel, MRVL, which was able to trade down through our target number one of 94.21. It eventually reached a low of 91.73. It never reached target number two. We exited somewhere in the middle between targets number one and two, and Tesla, which was very bearish. It easily went past our target number two to the downside. Well, after a while, it easily went past there. And then bottom out at 297.25, which was far below our target number two. So really strong move down for Tesla. And so far, it looks like in the pre-market, it's still hanging on the low end. All right. Having said that, let's take a look at what's moving in the pre-market. All right. So here's what we got. We got ENVB, which is currently up 160% on 48.4 million shares. It's at least $1 per share, so we can go ahead and add that to our pre-market watch list. Symbol again is ENVB. Next up is GERN, which is presently down 21.94% on 1.5 million shares. That also qualifies, so we can add that to our pre-market radar as well. Symbol again is GERN. And of course, the first one was ENVB. All right, next up is ICCT. That is currently, well, now it's not up much, just basically at break even right now, so we'll pass on that one. Next up is LCID, which is presently down 6.51% on 12.4 million shares. It's at least $1 per share, so we'll go ahead and add that to our radar, LCID. Next up is NVIDIA, NVDA. Yeah, that's up 2.61%. It's ETF, NVDL is up 5, but neither are going to qualify, so we'll pass on those. Next up is ONVO, which is presently up 9.45% on 17.3 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that to the radar. All right, next up is QBTS. Okay, actually, sorry, that's a NYSE stock. Never mind. Next up is RGTI, which is presently up only 2.4%, so that won't qualify. We'll skip that. SMCI is up sharply. That's up 21% roughly on 8.5 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. Loop Capital adjusted their price target up on that one. That's one thing we know. But let's see. Oh yeah, they filed their earnings. Okay, or financial accounts. Okay, that was why. So SMCI is up sharply. Next up is SYTA, which is presently up 114% on 11 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add SYTA to the list. Next up is, let's see, is Tesla. Oh, we already went over Tesla. Didn't qualify anyway. All right, next up so actually that's it. So that's everything. So I found these stocks only. If you folks see any other stocks that meet all four of our criteria, let me know in the chat and we'll go ahead and take a look. We're looking for a NASDAQ listed stock trading at least $1 per share in the current pre-market session. Must have achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume and at least a 6% price change, positive or negative. All right, so TRNR is definitely qualified, so we'll add that to the list. PYXS, that is currently up 9.16%, 1.3 million shares. It's at least $1 per share as well, so we can add TRNR to our list. I'm sorry, PYXS, I meant to say to our list as well. All right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and wrap up for today's pre-market pulse. Please be sure to like the video. See, we have 5 likes, more than 5 people watching, so please be sure to hit the like button. That greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, subscribe to the channel so you get notifications. Also, if anyone is watching this video on a replay and you're not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com, our website. You'll see a link in the description to this video. Other than that, for everyone who's part of the coaching program, I'll see you there in about 20 minutes. We'll pick up for today's trading session. All right, folks, have a great trading day. I'll see you for tomorrow's pre-market pulse. Take care.